Today we got two of the most famous gorillas of all time going head to head. King Kong versus Donkey Kong. Who's coming out top here? Let's find out. King Kong is a massive ape, and resided on Skull Island, a land lost to time. There he spent his life battling dinosaurs, surviving in the wild, being worshipped as god to the natives who offered sacrifices to him. Kong is incredibly massive, about 25 feet tall while still in a crouched position, weighs only between 20 to 60 tons, which would come in at least 7 times larger than the largest silverback gorillas out there. Also superhumanly strong. He's able to casually knock over rock structures and giant logs, destroy parts of a bridge, and really crash cars, trolleys, military vehicles. Kong destroyed airplanes while bouncing on top of the Empire State Building. Probably most impressively, was able to battle against several Vastusauruses at the same time. He held off one dinosaur with just one arm. He was able to throw 2 of them off a cliff, even while dangling off the cliff himself, and even savagely broke one dinosaur's head wide open. Kong isn't just superhumanly strong, though, he's also superhumanly durable. He's been slammed into cliffs or fallen off of them. Bites and attacks on the Vastusauruses, been pierced through the leg by a harpoon. Then while Kong did end up being killed by aircraft gunfire, he also took plenty of bullets from those guns, as well as from multiple submachine guns, even saw an explosion by a military cannon. Then being a gorilla, King Kong is obviously incredibly fast and agile. He's able to easily climb through the trees and cliffs of Skull Island, then climb on top of a building in New York City, even climbing to the top of the Empire State Building. He's also used his speed and agility to battle multiple dinosaurs at once, while still protecting Pandora, to catch her with either his arms or legs, and is actually able to use his legs just as well as he can use his arms. So, we got one corner, the ruler of Skull Island, King Kong. But, enter the ring, the other corner, it's rival of Mario, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is the leader of the bunch and well known as one of the main protagonists of the Donkey Kong series. Inheriting the title Donkey Kong from Cranky Kong, Donkey Kong presides over Donkey Kong Island and leads the Kong clan, a group of intelligent apes and monkeys. He hoards bananas and is determined to fight anything that threatens either his land or his bananas. Donkey Kong is incredibly strong and frequently exercises even when he's not under attack, always building up his strength and power to incredible levels. He's punched opponents up into the atmosphere at incredibly high speeds. He's easily lifted and thrown the Ghastly King, who absolutely towers over Donkey Kong, and even managed to deadlift an entire ship while simultaneously standing on the ship. And this is Giant Punch, an incredibly powerful blow that's strong enough to send a miniature moon down to the earth, although it does take some time to wind up beforehand. Of course, it's not all brute strength. Donkey Kong is also deceptively fast while in combat. He can punch at blindingly fast speeds, to the point where his arms look nothing more than a blur, and he's agile enough to jump off walls and change his position in midair for attacks too. Donkey Kong is durable enough to take multiple steel balls being shot at him at point-blank range from a cannon, not even really be phased, inside an explosion that sent him blasting off into orbit, and actually even sailing past the moon. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, when it comes to gorillas, I don't think there are any more famous ones than King Kong and Donkey Kong. Well, except for Harambe, but he's no longer with us, R.I.P. So we got the Kongs instead. So who's coming out on top here? That's what we're going to find out. Also, we're not using Kong from Kong Skull Island, because I think he's just way too big to make for a fair fight. Just sticking with the normal King Kong for this battle here. Now, first thing we talk about here is obviously physicality. Really, it's the only thing we talk about. Neither of them have any noticeable skill or remarkable abilities that will give him an edge over the other. It's just going to be a classic old-fashioned knock-em, sock-em, drag-out fight. With that being said, both of these animals are insanely strong. Kong's able to shake and break trees just by moving besides them. He's casually flipped over massive stone structures or giant logs, and easily broke through a large wooden gate. Now, while that's all real impressive, Probably Kong's most applicable feats are coming when he made it to New York City and started wreaking havoc in the streets. He's destroyed the theater that he's being held inside of, broke through the outside of that building, and destroyed plenty of cars, jumped on top of and crushed military vehicles. He managed to throw around airplanes, rip them in half. Like, gotta get the edge of Donkey Kong here. He's incredibly strong, and frequently exercises when he's got nothing else to do, always building up his strength and power to incredible levels. He's punched opponents up into the atmosphere at incredibly high speeds. He's easily lifted and thrown the Ghastly King, who absolutely towers over Kong, and even managed to deadlift an entire ship while standing on the ship. And this is giant punch, an incredibly powerful blow that's strong enough to send a miniature moon down to the earth, although it does take some time to wind up beforehand. Donkey Kong has punched people into the atmosphere and punched the moon down to earth. Granted, it was a very, very small moon, but still, better than anything King has shown us. Same with durability. Donkey Kong is a tougher one out of the two. Yes, Kong's able to take all those bites from those V-Rexes, he's able to take some light gunfire, even a Thompson submachine gun, but it was famously brought down by those biplanes. And to be fair to Kong, it did take plenty of those shots to bring him down, but still, so 1920s biplanes and 1920s guns. On the other hand, Donkey Kong is able to take countless attacks from enemies, take multiple steel balls being shot at him in point-blank range from a cannon, never really phased, saw an explosion that sent him blasting off into orbit, and actually even sailing past the moon. Kong survived flying up into orbit and flying past the moon. Again, so much more impressive than King Kong. Now, to be fair to King Kong here, he is surprisingly fast and agile, and uses that speed and agility quite a bit while in fights. Like, look at King Kong's fight against the 3 V-Rexes. These dinosaurs were alpha predators on Skull Island, were larger, faster, and stronger than the descendants of the T-Rex, and it's hypothesized these beasts are what the T-Rex could have been if were allowed to grow and evolve unabated for the past 65 million years. Yet Kong is able to battle against 3 of them at once, generally doing this by relying on his speed and agility, leaping and dodging and ducking and holding them all at bay until he could take them down. To make it even more impressive, King Kong did all this while defending Anne, and holding her on one of his limbs at all times. Kong was even able to make the transition to the city quite easily as well, even managed to evade military gunfire while he was at it. But just like with everything else, Donkey is faster too. In fact, the big guy is capable of punching so blindingly fast that his arms look like nothing more than a blur. Without a doubt, that seals the deal right there. Donkey Kong is physically superior across the board. That's all that King Kong can bring to the fight, so he's got no real way to beat Donkey. On the other hand, Donkey Kong might quite literally be able to one-shot. Without a doubt, Donkey Kong is coming out on top here. Donkey Kong wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Send out from the comments down below. Also, be sure the like button, subscribe button, and turn notifications on the DanCo army. And I will see you next time.